I just want to welcome you to my page, Julie Samako with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. So if you are new to the page, make sure to click that like button and like the page. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, make sure to subscribe so that you can get these videos directly sent to you without email and stuff, which is kind of cool. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that right now I think it happens frequently, not frequently, off and on is what I meant to say, throughout my business, where I'll get a sense of overwhelm. And I know this happens for a lot of you. I have my business coaching group, and probably the number one thing that creative business owners tend to deal with and tend to have issues with is the overwhelm. So, I was speaking to a friend and my accountant, Trina, this morning, and she was like, "Your voice doesn't sound as peppy as it normally does." And I'm like, maybe because I've got this so much on my plate and I'm feeling the overwhelm. And I thought, you know what, I should come on here and just talk about overwhelm, what I have done in my own business to help combat that. Let's see. Yay. Oh, so Kelly's making wreaths. And Charlotte's making a wreath. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so there are three things that I think could help you combat that overwhelm. So there's three things. Number one, I feel like as a creative, we tend to lack direction. There's so many things that we could do. We need to make that wreath or make that candle, or we need to go buy that paint, or we need to go get that ribbon, or we've got to run to the store, or we need to go shopping, and we've got to blog about this, or we need to do our Facebook Live about this while we're out there. Well, wait, we don't have a Facebook page, or what is a blog? Well, wait, if I have a blog, I need to have a website, and then I need to get the website up, and then what the heck? Email? You're saying now I need email? And there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, isn't there? A lot of pieces to the puzzle. And when you're new to something, especially as a creative, it's hard to figure out what to do first. It's hard to know, right, really what should I focus on? Really, what's important? Really, do I need all of this? God wired us creative people to be special, to be to have that mind of idea after idea after idea, and that's what the beauty of being a creative is, that we just get flooded with all of those beautiful creative ideas drop down from the heavens into our hearts and minds, and then what do we focus on? We might start one and we put it down and start the other. And can I get an amen? How many times have you wreath makers been making a wreath and then you're already focusing on the next wreath? Oh, wait, there's that sign. I got to incorporate that. That's my next wreath. Oh, wait. Okay, so I got that wreath and I got the wreath, and then I'm going to work on that wreath. And you're still trying to get the first wreath done. I cannot be the only one who thinks like that. And then as I'm working a wreath, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do this for my Etsy shop. Oh, I really should do this. I should do this. I need to email that customer back. It's just gets to where there's a lot of overwhelm. And that's, I think, that's okay, because number one, that's the way God wired us to be. But we have got to train our brains and we have got to train our minds to focus and figure out then what to focus on first. We need a path. We need something just to rein in all of the ideas that we have floating around in our heads, all of those ideas that are being dumped on us. We need a place to start. We need somebody to say, okay, this is where we want to start. Focus on this, get this done, and then we need to focus on this, and then we need to do this, and we need to master this, and then we need to do this, and then we need to focus on this, and then we need to master this. When I was first learning to create my business, I mean, I started to understand the power of marketing. And oh my gosh, I need to market. But there is a lot of things to market. There's like, social media marketing. You got Facebook, and you got Instagram, and you got Pinterest, and you got, back then we didn't have Instagram and Pinterest, but we had Facebook, and we had Twitter, we had other things. And then you got email. People are saying you got to have an email list, and that has to get done, and that has to get completed. And how do you figure that out? And then, there's people, oh my gosh, we got to have a website, and I got to have Etsy. And, it's just so many different things. And I just remember, you guys, when I was starting out, and maybe I'm the only one, but it was almost like drinking from a fire hydrant. All of the things, all of the marketing things, that was just overwhelm. And guess what? Guess what I did with that overwhelm? Didn't do anything. Didn't do it. I'd get started on the Etsy shop, and then I would realize that this is taking a little more time than I thought, and I got all of those supplies that I need to make stuff with, and you know what? I'll go make stuff, because that's comfortable to me. Making is fun. It's carefree. It was, it came easy to me, and it was just, that's just what I did. I would start on something, and then I'd be like, go back on to making. Go back to what's comfortable. Go do what I like doing, and then guess what happens? Guess what happened to me? One day I woke up, and my husband was like, you can't make anything else until you sell something, because we are going crazy with all of the wreaths in the house. We had nowhere else to put them. And that's when I said, okay, making is fun. It's easier. It's comfortable. However, if I don't market my business, nobody's going to buy anything. And so what's the fun of making and then not making any money from it, or not? If I could give it away until I wanted to, but then I would have to have money to come in to make more stuff. And so that's what I needed. I mean, I needed the money to go from one season to the next season. And so I was like, okay, let me figure out this marketing thing and what to do. It really is like it really is like a magnifying glass trying to start a fire. You have to focus on one thing instead of all the things. If you want to get that Etsy shop up, get that Etsy shop up. Don't worry about the Facebook. Don't worry about the email. Don't worry about the website. Focus, ladies, focus, okay? Don't worry about the wreaths that need to be made, okay? Unless you got a custom order to fill. Always worry about your customers. But I'm just saying is that overwhelm is a real thing. And that lack of direction is the number one killer of a business, because you get so excited and you get in there and you see all the things. You see, what all the things you have to do to make a business work. And the funny thing is, you don't even have to do them all to make it work. You don't have to do everything I do. You don't have to do everything everybody else is doing. You can still have your own very successful business just doing a couple things. All right. So it's just the overwhelm. You need to just rein it all in and focus, laser focus on one thing. Now, one of the things that I'm going to mention, one of my business coaches, Jennifer Allwood, again, she taught me the steps of what to do, what I could take to create that business for me. She taught me how to do a little bit more laser focus on specific items for my business, which I'll be forever grateful to her for that. And it has definitely paid off for me. So now that when my friend Trina calls me and goes, "You sound a little bit, stressed," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I am. I do have a lot on my plate, but it's laid out for me. I know what to do when what needs to get done. I know when to work in my creative talent side of the business. You know what I'm saying? So I have got that path of success for my business. And I'm going to thank Jennifer Allwood all the time for everything she's done for me and my business. She's got, in fact, a free workshop. I'm going to go through some other things that help control overwhelm that I've learned. But before I forget, I'm just going to post the link in here. So she's got a free workshop for you guys. If you, I want to offer it to you as a business, you besties out there, and go check it out. Join it now. Tomorrow, the workshop starts, and it's free. So go give that a look. All right. So the other thing is creatives tend to lack inspiration. Now, so they get stuck. Okay. So tell me if this is you. You're making a wreath, or you're making your candle, you're making your cookies, and everything's going smoothly. It's working good. You're making this and you're listing on Etsy. You're doing this and you're listing on Etsy, and it's making a sale, and you're doing this and then this and then this. And you tend to get a funnel or hyper focused, or you get so caught up in your own business doing the things over and over and over again, and you don't stop to take a step back and look at the potential for your business. I mean, we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we don't stop to look and see, is there anything else out there? Could I be doing this a different way? I mean, I'm thinking that's why people are still trying to wear blue eyeshadow. Honestly, they don't know there's other things out there. But, we tend to do that of our own business. They don't know that there could be an easier way to do this, or there could be a different way to do this and get a better outcome. Or they could just take a little bit of what they're doing already and put a spin on it and do something completely with it in a different way and have better success, better outcome with that. Something that might work better internally for them. So I'm going to give you an example for me. Okay. For an example, I make wreaths. I was selling wreaths. I had a couple of digital products. People were buying wreath making videos. They still are doing that, which is great. And I had an ebook. People were learning how to make a deco mesh with that ebook, and that was great. And I was mentoring them in the group, and everything was going good. And I was still making wreaths for my Etsy shop. And then my coach Jennifer Allwood said, "Well, wait, Julie. If you're already making wreaths for your Etsy shop, why don't you just do it in front of an audience, a membership?" And I'm thinking, I never thought of that. So in other words, I'm making the wreaths I have to make anyway for my Etsy shop, and I could have a membership group where people come in and they watch me make the wreaths I have to make anyway with my Etsy shop. And it was just a way to take what I was already doing in my business and then put a spin on it. So now I get to educate more people about the art of wreath making. I get to, make the stuff that I'm already making for my Etsy shop. And I get to educate and train and teach others the art of Southern Charm wreath making. You know what I'm saying? So I never really even thought of something like that. And I can't tell you how that renewal income for my business has really number one, I love teaching. I do. I love teaching. My goal is always to make sure that you learn. So I definitely make sure that what I put in my group is value. It's not just me, with the tripod and watching me make. I definitely explain every detail, the coloring, balance, size, scalability, all of this is taught in pretty much every video I do in my Wreath Making of the Month Club. But I never really thought until Jennifer said that, hey, you're already doing this anyway. Why don't you just do it a little bit differently? And sometimes we as creatives, we need that inspiration. We need somebody who can look out of our everyday to day monotonous stuff that we're doing and just say, hey, what if we did it this way? What if we do it that way? What about this idea? What about that? And do it an easier way. Is there an easier way? Is there some way to streamline this process? Is there a way to do it, a different way? So sometimes we need that. Again, I put that link in there. Hopefully it's working today. Yesterday it wasn't, but or the other day it wasn't. But try to you just sign up for Jennifer's workshop. I mean, her workshop and her coaching has just tremendously helped me, and I just want to share. I'm just giving back. All right, so the third thing that I feel that we as creative business people suffer with and tend to get overwhelmed with that feeling of, oh, I can't keep up. I got all this other stuff. I can't do it. Is the boundaries. We don't have clear boundaries set for ourselves. We don't have clear boundaries set for our businesses. And you have to have this. You have to have boundaries set pretty much all throughout your business, including, think of it. I know majority of the creatives who are starting out in their business, they work a 9-to-5 job. They get up early, they go to work, getting the kids off to daycare school and all that, go to work, bust their butts. They come home tired, hungry, tired. And then they have to make dinner. And then they have to deal with the kids, and then they have to deal with the baths, and then they have to go through that, what I always called homework hell. And you know what I'm talking about, ladies. When you have to sit there and listen to the children screaming and fighting over doing the homework, and if you would have just sat and done the homework from the minute you started screaming, it would have been done already. But no, you have to sit and do 30 minutes worth of arguing and debating and fighting, and that's what I called homework hell. I had it. Yes. And so when you come home and you have to deal with that, and then you got to do the dinner, and you got to do the dinner dishes, and you got to get their baths, and you got to pack the lunches for tomorrow, and then you have to maybe flip the laundry and you sweep up the kitchen and think about tomorrow and planning for the next day. And then when the kids are in bed and everything's cleaned up and everything's picked up, and that then is the time that you have to think about your business. First, I want to just say a little prayer over you for people who are doing this now. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. You have a dream you're trying to fulfill, and there are a lot of women doing that right now. The hustle and bustle of their 9-to-5, the hustle and bustle of their mom-in duties, and then fitting in their dream at the end of the day. And God bless you. God bless you for that. So I know that is definitely hard. And when you finish that the mom-in duties, and that's when you try to work in your business, it's hard because you're tired, and you don't know where to start because you're tired, and then you don't have that focus. You get in there and you're overwhelmed. Where do I even start? What should I make first? And I get that. But if you could think somehow, some way to put boundaries in your life so that you can work in that dream, following that dream, work in that Etsy shop, getting that website up, if you could set in the boundaries for your job, your side hustle, it will be so much easier for you. So when I started, I mean, I was like that. I mean, I was overwhelmed. I had so much going on. You know, I wanted to volunteer for the PTA. I wanted to go have lunch with my friends, volunteer trips and field trips for the kids. And, you know, I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I never was really putting my business first. It was always a side thing. It wasn't, you know, this is my business, this is my dream, and why was I not putting it first? When I started to shift in my family and my business and start putting into place boundaries. Okay, these are going to be my work hours. These are going to be the hours I'm going to be the mom. These are the hours I'm going to do the house stuff. You know, this is my hours of when I'm going to go out and have fun and play. When I start putting in hours of operation and telling the family and educating the friends and telling everybody my phone's on do not disturb because I'm working. I'm coming into the office and I'm closing the door. That means mommy is in her work mode and not to come in. And if I'm in the garage creating and crafting, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't. Just don't. And it takes a little bit of practice, and your family won't get it at first. They could kick back, they could get frustrated. But I mean, even the hubs was like, there's a couple of times, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in the garage doing my wreathing thing, making my wreaths, focus, shutting out the family thing. He'll come in, what's for dinner? I don't know, because I'm technically not at home, I'm technically at work, and this is something you're gonna have to figure out. It's just a few times in the beginning when things like that happen, and then they start to learn. They start to learn how to figure out packing their own lunches, how to do their own laundry, how to cook their own meals and stuff like that. There are things you'll have to give up. I mean, my house will never be as spick and span as it used to be before the job. The meals might not always be fresh cooked. The meals they might be, oh yeah, we had tacos last Tuesday, and guess what? We're having tacos again this Tuesday. You know, so you're going to be fed regardless. But once we start just training and educating our friends, don't be calling and asking me to go to lunch, and saying no to the PTA, and saying no to the field trips, and saying no, and putting our job first. And I'm not saying, obviously there's got to be time for family, but you got to set boundaries on when that is. And when you are in for family time, you be all in. You don't be at the dinner table checking your email. You don't be going out to dinner and a movie and on the phone. You have to put that down and be all in with the family. Talking to the family, you know, being the mom when it's time to be the mom, but then being the boss when it's time to be the boss. You've got to set those boundaries. It's just amazing how you can get clarity and momentum when you start to put all of these things into place. So when you start to have that direction, and when you start to have more inspiration, and when you start to have those boundaries, the overwhelm tends to be a little bit less. I'm not going to say that overwhelm absolutely goes away. And we, as business owners, are completely in control of our own overwhelm. In other words, nobody ever is going to be able to say, you know what, this is the one thing that you can do and all that'll go away. It's not going to be like that. You alone have to be the one who manages that overwhelm. But you have to stop looking at everybody else's jobs and businesses and what all they're doing. You have to run your own race. You have to put into place boundaries, and you have to put into place ways of gathering that inspiration so that you can think differently, and you have to put into place that direction, that laser focus on one thing at a time. When you start doing that, the overwhelm gets manageable. It really does. I mean, look at this is my to-do list, okay? My to-do list. That's my month for my business. Now, yes, when I look at that, I'm like, holy crap, that's a buttload of stuff to do. But if I look at what do I got to do today? The one, two, top three things I got to do today. It's a lot easier to manage, isn't it? And that's all I'm saying is when you put into place some boundaries and you put into place some of these other things, it helps with the overwhelm. Stop looking at 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, next month, and instead look at what top three things you can do today. What's the one thing you want to focus on this month? One thing. What's the one thing you want to focus on this month? And then every day or whenever you set your hours for your business, just work that plan for that one thing. Next month, it could be completely different. It could be a different thing. And then you would set your priorities for trying to get that one thing accomplished. If you just take the bigger projects and break them down into smaller, manageable projects, it helps with that overwhelm. Again, here is if you're interested in that free course for Jennifer Allwood, she's starting it tomorrow. It's a free workshop. If you join it, join today, get on the waiting list. She'll email you tomorrow, and it will Thursday tomorrow. She'll start adding you into that free workshop. If you guys have any business friends, or maybe you want to watch this again and it just motivates you, if you could share this, I would really appreciate that. If you would just share this video, that is just a little virtual hug to me that lets me know that you enjoy these videos and you're getting something out of it. And also it helps to grow my business and spread the word of the Southern Charmeuse and me. So that would be very, very, very appreciative. And then I just want to thank you for joining me. And again, if you like my page, before I get to the questions, like my page if you're new, and subscribe if you're watching the replay on YouTube. That would be amazing.